Fish wisdom. There are these two fish in Lady Bird Lake. Whole school of fish in Lady Bird Lake. All right. And one fish turns to the other and says, "Boy, the water feels really good today, doesn't it?" And the other fish, you know what the other fish said, right? The other fish says, "Water? What the heck is that?" Right? We're like that second fish a lot of times, aren't we? Is that we live literally in the sea of God's abundance. We live in an opulence that Sharon was just singing about. And yet, until and unless we are waked up spiritually to that deep truth, we don't know it, right? We're just swimming around and we don't have any concept that we are literally swimming in a sea of abundance. Now, on the material realm, yes, we see the evidence of a lot of abundance. To the degree that we are not spiritually awake, though, we don't see that we're connected to it. You know what I'm saying? I may see it around me, and that's good. Sometimes we don't even see it around us, though, right? We just look around us and we don't see the amazing, even material abundance that's around us. And sometimes we may see it, but we don't feel connected to it. We may think, well, I see it out there, but somehow it's out there and it doesn't belong to me. Somehow I can't get at that. And we feel impoverished. We feel like we don't have enough. We feel like we are lacking. And yet, the more and more we awaken to the reality that we are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe governed by spiritual law, the more and more we are awakened to the reality that no matter what it looks like on the surface, the deep reality is that we are completely one with God. God is life itself. God is abundance itself. We are completely sourced from God. And as we wake up to that reality, we begin to connect our consciousness to it. And our consciousness just means our thoughts, our attitudes, our energy, our attention, our focus, and our actions. And we find that life shifts, that life becomes easy, that it becomes, and that's a little bit trite. I don't mean, oh, it's all perfect then and it's just good. Okay, that's not what I mean. But it becomes much more fulfilling. It becomes much more gracious. And things do flow truly in a much easier manner. We don't feel like we have to get out there and get stressed. I'm going to give you an image that might be a little weird, but hang in there with me. It's, in a sense, we're just as all of us were once inside of our biological mother's womb, we were completely supplied, right? We were completely, literally, physically surrounded by mother. And we were definitely also literally, physically connected to mother's nurturing, were we not, through that placenta and that umbilical cord in the womb. If you can think of, in a sense of an analogy, that's an image. Think of that. That's literally, in a bigger sense, in a more spiritual sense, that's exactly how we are connected to God, because we are literally, just as a baby in the womb literally is of its mother's flesh in that time when it's in that womb, that we are literally of God's presence. We live, move, and have our being in God. What does it say in Genesis? We're made in the image and likeness of God, right?